Yo, what up, guys? It's Lane Rolling. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day because I have not been having a wonderful day. Today has been one of the most stressful days ever, and it really stems from Uber support. And I've had a serious problem with Uber support the whole time. I think that's the worst part about driving for Uber is Uber support. And I'll tell you about the issue that I had today. So basically, I get an order to pay order, which means we have a plus card and we order the food ourselves, and then we go up there, we pay with the credit card, and we basically pick the order up like that, right? It's not the same as like I get an order, I just go pick it up and it's already paid for. So what I usually do to save time is I'll call the order in, and when I arrive, I'll basically just pay for it then, and the order will be pretty much already ready to go. So today I do that, and the lady on the phone's like, yeah, we've had a couple of problems with Uber drivers coming here and the car being declined, which is a serious problem. And this is another thing Uber needs to fix. So what happens is Uber has an outdated menu, and instead of having a credit limit, they actually have like a debit limit where they put like the actual amount of what they think it's going to cost on the card. If it's any more than that, it will be declined. If it's under that, it's okay. And what happens is, like, Uber's menu will say the item is $7, but in naturality the item is $9, and the person orders two, so they would think the item's 14, so 14 would be on the card, but the item's 9, so it would be $18, which is a $4 difference, which will cause the card to get declined. But what happens is you're allowed to use your own card, and you pay for it yourself, you let support know, you upload the receipt, and they reimburse you for the amount that you paid. So I do that. I call support, everything, they tell me everything's fine. So I pay for it myself, I get in the car, and the app will not let me accept the trip. So I have it, it won't let me mark it. So I call support. I'm on the line with support for over 40 minutes. And at this point, I'm like, I have this person's food, I want to drop it off. So I text them and I let them know, I'm like, hey, the apps work, because I had already told them that the card was declined. I'm gonna pay for it myself and bring it to you. So I text the customer, I'm like, hey, what's your address? It's not letting me accept the order, I want to bring you your food now. So they give me the address, and I start heading there. The whole time it takes me to get there, which is like 12 minutes, Uber still does not pick up. So as soon as I drop the order off, Uber picks up, and I explain to them the situation. So I'm telling her everything, and what she does is she says something completely different than what I said. And this is a natural thing that happens all the time. And the main reason why this happens is Uber outsources all of their support to a different country. English is not their first language, so a lot of things get lost in translation. Anytime I'll report an order or something, the person, I'll explain it in detail, and the person will basically say something else completely. It's almost like talking to a robot, like a live robot. I'll legitimately say everything to a T, and they'll say something else. Then they also have an issue with some of them are more knowledgeable than others. So I could call for the same situation earlier in the day, and somebody else would tell me something completely different. It happens a lot when I tell you about not waiting 10 minutes. I'll call in and I'll tell them, hey, I've been waiting 15 minutes. Can you cancel the order for me and give me the miscellaneous fee? And they'll be like, I can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean I can't do it? It just happened earlier. She's like, we can't do it. You have to do it yourself. I'm like, no, that's not the policy. I've legitimately been told by the people at the green light and support, the more knowledgeable ones, after 10 minutes, you need to call us. We'll cancel it because it will affect your rate, and then you also won't be compensated. So that's why I call it, and we'll sit and go back and forth. So what I usually do is like, all right, thank you, hang up, and then call somebody back. And then the next person I talk to will be like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And they'll do it like right away. And that's the biggest issue that I have. So today, the same thing happens. I explain the situation. She tells me something completely different, and then she ends up telling me, we can't reimburse you for it, this and that. I'm like, what do you mean? It's in its policy. She was like, we should have canceled it. And I was like, well, the person before told me to take it and everything would be fine, just to call, like, to basically send the receipt in, and I'll be reimbursed. It's happened plenty of times. So then I bring up dates that I have because I have everything saved. And I'm like, well, it happened on this date, March 29th, and I got reimbursed. And then at that point, when you show them proof or facts, they change their whole story around. She's like, all right, hold on. She puts me on hold for like 40 minutes and never comes back. The phone call gets hung up. So then I call back again. I talk to somebody else. They tell me something completely different than what she told me. And I'm like, what's going on? I don't understand why it's so hard for you just to be like, mark it as delivered. You talk to the customer because they called the customer and the customer confirmed I dropped it off. Mark it as confirmed. Pay me the money, reimburse me the money, and then give me the money for my wait time. Super simple. But all of them are like saying different things, and then what happens is they end up like the call gets hung up on. They're supposed to call you back, they don't call me back, so then I call back again, and I'm on support for a long time. The person now just said, all you got to do is send a receipt in, and you'll get reimbursed. Like now, they send me a message that says something completely different. If you pay for it yourself and you can't upload the receipt, we'll cancel it. I'm like, that does me no good. Another person sat there and told me, well, we're gonna reimburse you for the order, and we're gonna give you $6, and that's it. And she said it to me like I would be happy with that. Like, are you not gonna pay me for the delivery? The delivery was for like $14. Like, of course you're gonna give me my money back, and of course you're gonna give me like money for waiting, but like, where's my money for the actual delivery? You expect me to do that? And just like I said, I spent like close to 3.5 hours on it. And I do a lot of this stuff because I filmed it. So if you ever want to hear any conversations, put it in the comments. If I get enough comments, I will put all of the discussions that I've had or conversations that I've had with support in there, because they're freaking hilarious. And I think that's the biggest thing, and the problem that I have, like, Uber support needs to be in America. And I don't mind it being in other jobs and stuff, like in other countries and stuff like that, but it doesn't work out. And I've talked to many of Uber drivers, and they feel the same thing. You, just like I said, you call in, everything gets lost in translation. It's not their first language. Some of the calls you hear, there's like chickens and stuff clucking in the background, and they don't fully understand what you're saying. And that's another problem with them not being able to help you out. Even with being able to tell time, I don't know if time's different, but they'll look at the time being different. Like, I had a situation one time where I waited 20 something minutes for an order, over 20 minutes, and I call in to get it canceled. She's like, nope, I can't cancel it. I'm like, I've waited here 20 minutes. She's like, no, you haven't. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what time did I arrive? She was like, 2:05. I'm like, what time is it now? She says 2:28. How many minutes is that? She's like, says that, and then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, hold on for a second, puts me on hold, comes back, and it ends up giving me my $5 and canceling the order and stuff like that. So I feel that, especially in this day and age, people in America need jobs. Uber is outsourcing these jobs to pay these people less money and not paying them enough and making them work a lot. That's not going to help with customer satisfaction or driver satisfaction with support. They're not going to go beyond what they have to do because they're not getting paid. They're being worked to death. So of course they don't really care about helping us. Like, you treating them bad makes them treat us bad and not care about their job. If they got paid more, then they would. So just like now, people in America need jobs. Why not have support centers in each state where there's Uber Eats, and hire people that are from here that can understand what is going on with restaurants and stuff. They don't understand when I'm talking about going to Popeyes or McDonald's and stuff like that. They're like, don't understand the concept. Like, I'll be like, yo, the store's closed. Oh, I'll be like at a restaurant. She'll be like, can you go through the drive-thru? I'm like, there is no drive-thru here. So I really believe that Uber support needs to be located in America. And they also need to give these people different tools to utilize to help us out on the fly. Like, it should be no reason why they can't just confirm the order is delivered and put money in my account when they can give me like a Uber Eats fee. Same thing I said with the reimbursement. Some people say it'll take 48 hours. Some people put it in my account right away, and they do it as an Uber Eats payment. You could easily do that with the payment. the lady earlier said, yeah, you were supposed to get $14. And I'm like, you can't just put that in my account. No, I have to do this. I have to send it to trip support. Then she ends up transferring me over to Uber driver, like the people who drive people, and nothing gets helped out. Like it's the biggest headache ever, and it's so stressful. Some of them don't even like you'll be talking to them and they're trying to say a phrase, but they're just completely mess the phrase all up, and it won't really have anything to do with what goes on. And it's kind of hard. Like, I know that if I was in their country, I wouldn't want to be a support person, even if I knew their language a little bit. Like, I would not move to El Salvador or Mexico. I speak a little poquito Spanish, Espanol, but I'm not going to go in there and try to be a support person helping people who speak fluent of that language. It would just be way too hard. But that's me ranting. Yo, if you had a similar situation, you don't like support, please let me know in the comments, because we need to try to get this up. Uber's a good job, but I just want to be able to fix this job to make it a perfect job, because you can make good money on this, but people have to, like, you got to have a support system. Like, calling support, they need to be able to help you out like that. If they can't, they mess your money up. I probably haven't been paid thousands of dollars because of support not being able to handle the certain issues that need to be helped. So put it in the comments if you've had any issues with support. Let me know what you think about support. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Also, please hit the like button. And yeah, subscribe so I don't have to keep doing Uber Eats my whole life. I do other stuff, gaming, skateboarding, all different types of stuff. Subscribe to your boy, please. You'll get good luck and whatnot. But yo, peace, love, happiness. I will see y'all later when I might want to do another rant or another gamer video, whatever it might be. But I love all y'all. Peace, love, happiness.